Hi everyone, David MacDonald from Vitality Fitness Calgary. We are going to go over exercises 3 and 4 in our top 7 exercises for fat loss. So we just went over exercises 1 and 2. If you watched that previous video, we're going to go over exercises 3 and 4 in the top 7. So exercises 3 and 4 are going to be lower body exercises. First one we have is the dumbbell deadlift. Now with deadlifts, there's a lot of different ways you can do deadlifts. You can do Romanian deadlifts, you can do trap bar deadlifts, you can do a conventional deadlift from the floor. We're going to show you a Romanian deadlift today. And the reason why we're going to show you Romanian deadlifts is because they're the easiest to learn. They're probably the most basic of all the deadlifts, and it's where you want to start when you're starting deadlifting. You really want to get good at the Romanian deadlift before you start progressing to other variations. So the Romanian deadlift, you can use dumbbells or you can use a barbell. And what you want to do when you're in that deadlift, you're going to start with your feet about hip width apart. You're going to have a slight bend in those knees. You're going to have your weights in front of you, shoulders are back. And then what we're going to focus on is we're going to focus on what's called a hinge or a hip hinge. And when you do that hip hinge, all of the movement is coming from your glutes and your hips. So when you go into a deadlift, you want to get that butt right back, and you want to reach, and you want to hinge that butt back until you start engaging those hamstrings, and then slowly bring that upper body forward. So you should only be hinging, your upper body should be coming forward only because you're hinging back. So the common thing people will do in a deadlift when they start is they'll do one of these where they'll kind of hinge, but then they'll really dump forward. So that's going to put a lot more stress on your lower back. If you focus on hinging through your hips, and really getting that butt back and just letting your upper body come forward, okay, letting it come forward naturally from that hinge, and you'll feel a big difference, and you'll get those glutes and hamstrings engaged more. So that's a Romanian deadlift. Now, when you're starting out, I would definitely recommend starting out with light weights, something like 5, maybe 10, 15 pounds per hand. Your other option is you can start with a barbell, an empty barbell. If the Romanian deadlift is too much for you, you can also go to a body weight deadlift by putting your hands behind your back and doing a deadlift like this. And that will just get you into the basic mechanics and form and teach you what proper mechanics should feel like. So that's Romanian deadlift. Okay, the next fat loss exercise that we're going to focus on is the lunge or the split squat. Again, great exercise because it works multiple muscle groups. You're working your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings, getting some core work in. So we're going to show you both exercises. So a split squat is, you can almost look at it as a part of a lunge. So you're going to be in a split stance. You're going to go nice and wide, nice and long, depending on how tall you are. What you're going to do is you're going to drop that back leg down, driving through that front leg and coming up. The great thing about a split squat is it's easily modified, so you can drop to a bodyweight split squat. Okay, you can also go against a wall, hold onto a wall or a bench and do a split squat. And you can go down to halfway. So wherever your fitness level is will determine what your variation is. So great exercise, and you also have to stabilize that upper body, so you really got to engage those abs. You got to brace and squeeze. So that's a split squat. The next variation of that is the lunge. So a lunge, you're adding a little bit more in because you're doing a front and a back movement. So front and back motion. So if it's a reverse lunge, we're now stepping back. Okay, we're pausing. We're going to drop down like we would in a split squat. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come up like we would in a split squat, but we're also going to drive forward at the same time. So you're combining the split squat with that forward motion on the lunge. And you're driving up and coming forward. The other variation you can do is a forward lunge. So the forward lunge, okay, we're stepping forward now, pausing, dropping down, and then we're driving back. Okay, so we're driving back from the bottom. So again, going down like we would in a split squat, coming up like we would in a split squat, but driving back. Great exercise for the quads, glutes, hamstrings, lots of core work involved as well. So again, we want to be choosing exercises that are going to work multiple muscle groups at once. They're going to give us several benefits at once, not only from a fitness standpoint, but from a strength standpoint. So we're saving time, we're being efficient with our time. If you compare a lunge to going on like a leg press or a leg extension machine where you're in a stable position, you're getting far more benefit by doing a lunge or a split squat than going into a machine like that. So that's exercises number 3 and 4. Stay tuned for exercises 5, 6, and 7 in our next video. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.